What's up, everybody? Uh, just doing my landlord thing. So, I'm at work, and this conversation starts up with a coworker uh, regarding be careful. When they're pretty much just giving me a fair warning, which I know, but and they're like, be careful about your tenants and who you get in there. You can't discriminate, and there's so many different horror stories about landlords and tenants coming through and just tearing shit up, but also about landlords not taking care of their property like they're supposed to. So what happens nowadays is that you can do it yourself, but you can also hire somebody to do it. You get somebody to, take pictures of your property, first floor, second, third floor, first floor, second floor, third floor, or even a whole house just by itself. You take pictures of the inside so you can get an idea of what the property, what it looks like. So then, once you do that, you paste it out here on the websites that, this is for rent or this is for sale or whatever it may be. And people look at it and set appointments with the real estate agent to go look at the place. And if you're smart, which I hope you do, you're doing a credit check on anybody who's interested. You're doing a background check, and I think there's a limit. There's only so much you can do in Massachusetts. As for a criminal check, I don't think you can go into like details of like they robbed 20 banks before they eventually get, we can't go that far, but you do a background check on them and make sure they're good and they're not in default, their credit score, that, they don't have evictions and things of that nature. And so while you're doing this again, hypothetically, you got 10 people that are interested in looking at the property. They have to fill out the application to get a background check, and in some cases they have to pay for it themselves. If you guys are interested in looking at the place, you have to pay to do a background check on you. So let's do a background check, and so you got 10 different people. Excuse my mic. So like I was saying, you got had a malfunction there for a second. You got 10 different people looking. They all filled the applications. My agent's looking at these people. They're seeing them, and the majority of the time you won't see them to the final process. Say all 10 people come back good. They got good credit. They don't have any eviction notices. Background checks out good. So you got 10 different people that are interested in looking at your property. And what I'm gonna do, I want to see these people. I don't want to wait until the day they move in. I'm like, oh, who the fuck are you? Oh, I'm the person that felt. We're gonna see these people before we actually decide on who's gonna move into my first floor. So you got these 10 different people. They all did it. All the background checks came in good, and now you just got to decide. Pick one out of the 10. So you decide on. I don't know. Let's make a hypothetical shit. You got a purple, green, orange, and blue person from your choices. Out of 10, you take the 4, and you decide that you only like the blue one. Whatever your reason is for, that's your choice. Whether you don't like a certain group of people, they do this, and and you can't. I mean, common sense. If you're an adult and you live long enough, you can't categorize people, but people do, and say, well, this group of people does this, and they're nasty, and they do that, and these people over here do that. I mean, if you have enough common sense, if you dealt with enough people, then you know better than that. But a lot of us don't. So they'll discriminate against a group, X amount these people over here, and go with it. But with the way we have it now is that even if you are discriminating against, it's not as obvious, and it's not as obvious because You just decided not to pick those people. I had, what did I have, 4 people? Well, we actually had 10, but I picked 4 out of the 10, and I only picked the blue one because that's my preference. And I discriminated against the other colors because that's my preference. But there's nothing that says that. There's nothing that I'm not. I mean, maybe after a couple of times of doing the same thing, you could basically end up in a Trump situation where you discriminate against different people. I don't know, whatever. But it's not as obvious. I just decided this is who I was gonna pick. I had 10 different people. I picked out 4 of the 10, and 1 out of the 4, and that's just who I decided to pick. Section 8, raft, black, white, or whatever it may be. I just decided to go with the blue. There's nothing to back that up. There's nothing. You can't take me to court because I decided that I wanted to pick this color versus the other ones, and it's all legit. And I know this. And I know this from my previous apartment. I had an experience with some people. He always paid on time, but everything was said and done, he was nasty, little motherfucker. Excuse my French. I'm sorry if I cuss a lot, but he was nasty. And when he had to move out, when he had to take all this shit out of the apartment, you really got to see how. And I seen it, but you're paying, and he always paid in cash too. And you're paying me. I wasn't living there anymore. I just kind of shook it off and let it be what it was going to be. But when he moved out, and he saw, and you know how much money I spent to have this. I'm talking about the first floor in my apartment, the other one I had, and the money I spent doing I did the best I can with the amount of money I had. It was decent. It was a decent spot. I put a brand new stove in there. I did the countertops and everything, and he just tore the shit up. So the coworker, there's other coworkers in there, and another one has experience with it. And then it kind of just breaks off, and then so we're talking. I'm listening, and it's like Section 8. I grew up on Section. I didn't grow up on Section 8, but there was a point in time that my mother did have Section 8. Section 8 was especially in the 90s, not even the early 90s, maybe before that, late 80s. For me, anyways, it was you had Section 8. I didn't even know the concept what Section 8 is, but Section 8 is you get pretty much a discount on paying your rent. So if your rent's like $2,000, you don't have to pay a quarter of that. I don't know for sure. And having Section 8 was a shit. You got Section 8, you get to live into a nice apartment, yellow walls and wall-to-wall carpet. And, it was supposed to be a nice apartment in a nicer area where you were from. But as you grow up and, you become an adult, you end up becoming a landlord like me. And you hear, well, Section 8 wants this. And you have to follow the rules and regulations. And if you don't, then they'll blah, 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 blah. So there's so many things that go along with having Section 8. It kind of scares the landlord from wanting to deal with it because you may be a slumlord, and you may not want to fix shit because then you got to come out of pocket for when you fix it. But when I'm talking to this other coworker, and they're like, I only let Section 8 people into my apartment. I'm like, what? It's like I only let Section 8 people in. Like I rather rent to a Section 8. I'm like, why? Because da. He's like, Section 8 comes through. They look at the apartment. They take pictures of how it is before you move that tenant in there. And if you need to fix anything before you move the tenant in there, they'll pay for it. I didn't know that. I don't remember Section 8 doing that when I was younger. Then again, I was younger. I wasn't really paying attention. I just heard the word Section 8 and thinking, whatever. But I didn't know the details of it like I know a little bit more now. So there's something broken, there's something wrong now, they'll fix it for you. So they take pictures of it, they're fixing shit for you, and then when the tenant moves out, they come back through and take pictures of the place again. They go back to what the original video recording of pictures that they took, and whatever the tenant tore up after, while they were living there, and left after they moved out, they'll come back and fix it. So the dude was telling me, I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. That's why I only went to Section 8. I prefer Section 8. I was like, okay. I didn't know that. I know it now. See, it's just a little shit you learn. Just a little shit you learn. Just a little bit at a time. Just pick it up. A little shit you learn. So, I'm gonna. I can get a Section 8 person in here. And Section 8 guarantee rent. You don't gotta worry about it. You know what I'm saying? You know, the government, the state, or whatever entity that is, they're gonna make sure you always got your money on when the rent's due on the first of the month. Now the check in the mail is probably gonna get automatically deposited into your checking account. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the tenant's responsible for the little half to probably owe maybe five, two, three, 100, and that's it. And that's what they're responsible for. Um, and if they come short with it, you say today, hey, these tenants aren't living up to their bargain. That they're part of the deal. You pay X amount, and they're supposed to pay this amount. So yeah, um, I'm gonna try to. I was trying to stay away from it. Raft, I'm not really, because Raft, I don't. They help the tenant for a couple of months, and then after a couple of months, if these tenants don't get on their feet, now I'm stuck with trying to get somebody out. You know, evicting them. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm not discriminating against anybody. But Section 8, yeah, I think I want. So again, they automatically give the government the checks in the bank. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, so I want to touch on that a little bit. Uh, you know, and express my things on that. I still got some yard work to do. I'm trying to wait till the weather to warm up with those shorts on. I used to have these work boots for when I was doing a little bit more difficult job than what I'm doing now. And I got rid of them. I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna need these. How much I need them now? But so now I gotta spend some money on some brand new work boots. I got the glove. I got the weed whacker. I got the electric lawnmower. I got the electric weed, you know, leaf blower. It's all electric. It's all downstairs in the basement. There was nothing to get it up. Well, I haven't taken it out yet, but there was nothing to get it down. There's nothing to get it up. We're good to go. I'm trying to wait for it to get a little bit warmer so I can sweat my ass off. So I can just throw some shorts on. And I'm gonna get, I promise. For this whole camera thing set up, I want one of those tripods. I gotta get a selfie tripod, so I'm not so close to the camera when I'm talking. But then I want one that kind of follows you too. So we gotta get that shit too. Um, but yeah, that's what's going on. I'm sorry. But yeah, Section 8, that's the move. If you're not doing it, do it. All right, y'all.